This is Kendra Harris, a 21-year-old student. After going out on a date, she was found dead. Her body was found in a wooded area. The killer, Mark Lenovo. Plenty of evidence tested at a FBI laboratory found him guilty of this crime. This is a fiber. Whenever two objects come into contact with each other, there is an exchange of materials between them. This is called the Locard exchange. A comparison microscope would be used to look at the medulla, a cellular column running through the fiber, the cuticle, the outside covering, and the cortex, which is a protective layer. The dye composition would be looked at through a visible light microspectrophotometer. And polarized light seen here would help analyze the fiber as well. Lipstick was found on Mark Lenovo's sweater. To find out if it was Kendra's lipstick, thin layer chromatography would be done. The examiner would dissolve the sample in a proper solvent. A few microliters of the solution will be spotted with a capillary tube, which has a certain liquid. The liquid gradually rises up the plate and then placed in a chamber. When it stops, the test is complete. The distance is called the RF value. If it has the same pattern, chances are it's the same lipstick. After the flotation method was done to compare the densities, the glass will be put in bromoform and bromobenzene, and if it floats, then it's less dense than the glass at the seam. And if it sinks, it's more dense. This is one way to find similarities. Soil or dried mud found on a suspect's clothing or shoes when compared with soil samples collected at the crime scene can link a suspect. Soil found on Lovino's boots at his house will be looked at with the eye and underneath a microscope. Here is being tested with potassium chromate. The reactions will say if it's a match or not. Ultraviolet light can also put links to the crime scene. This is how fingerprints will be taken. Black ink is used to get every single ridge. Prints were lifted off of Kendra's phone. Here is an example of how fingerprints would be lifted and analyzed. Powder would be used with a brush. This brush in particular doesn't have hard bristles, which doesn't tamper with the print. This print in particular is a latent print or an invisible print. Tape would be used to lift it off the object. What would be looked at would be loops, whorl patterns, arch patterns, and ridge crossings, to name a few. DNA is something that will be looked at by the examiner. The Kessel-Meyer color test would be used on a stain to find out if it's actually blood or not. It turns deep pink to let it be known that it is actually blood. Blood typing is another way to help narrow down the pool for criminals. Anti-serum is mixed with the blood. Reactions may occur due to antibodies and antigens which are found in the blood.